Hello everyone, I thought I'd do a quick video about superannuation and perhaps simplifying superannuation and also the importance of reviews. First off, superannuation is just a mechanism, and it's a tax effective mechanism to force us to save through to retirement. The idea is that we don't touch it until we're ready to retire, and then we're given the access to it. So it's a really good forced savings, and it's a tax effective savings as well. So for most people, their employer would be contributing to their superannuation at usually around 9.5% of your gross income. Now, that superannuation can be invested in various areas. It could be in property, you might have it in just one share, or what most people do, have it diversified, invested in a few shares so that all your retirement income isn't at risk of falling if just one market falls. And of course you can invest it in more conservative assets such as term deposits and cash. Now, to consolidate all of those reports from all these to make taxation time a lot easier for your superannuation fund, the most effective way to do that is through what's known as a platform. And up here is, of course, your investments. Now, what the fees were for platforms a few years ago or many years ago, they've gotten cheaper now as time goes on. And your investments, because markets go up and down, might be out of sync to what your risk profile is. So, every year we should be reviewing it. For two reasons. One is that we make sure the investments are still okay, in line with your risk profile, and the other reason is that the fees on the platform and on this might be too high. So it may not be suitable to how you are and where your stages of life is at. The other thing to consider that's important that a lot of people don't do is, if you've got other superannuations, it's probably a good idea to get them all into one. You don't necessarily save a lot of fees because quite often it's a percentage-based fees, but what it does, it makes life easier to make these changes. So that if you want to change from being exposed to shares and put it into cash or vice versa, you can do that. You only have to do that once, rather than having to contact all of your superannuation funds. Now, obviously, it's a case-by-case scenario because you might have insurances in here that you don't want to lose. So you need to keep that in mind and seek some financial advice around that. But as a general rule, if you've got no insurances there, that you could consolidate that, and that would make life a lot easier. Also, when you change address, it makes life a lot easier as well. So some people I hear quite often complain about, superannuation is not really doing very well. It's not performing very well. Well, it's not superannuation that's not performing well. It's the investments, and that's what needs to be addressed. So hopefully that's explained very simply how the concept of superannuation works. As you may know, that the government are bringing in a maximum that you can hold within superannuation, and that's at $1.6 million. The reason why they're putting a restriction on that is so that it forces people to invest in other areas, into property or cash or elsewhere into the community. So that's a bit of a mud map of and simplifying it. Everyone's circumstances are different, and obviously this is just general in nature, and hopefully hopefully it's simplified a little bit more around what superannuation is. And it's not something to be scared of. It's actually a really good forced savings for us. Thank you.